Hello Sagittarius, I am Ulrich, I'm a Lenormand card reader, and today we will do the Lenormand card reader reading for the sign of Sagittarius for the month of October 2021. On the table here you see 9 cards, meaning we will use the 9 card portrait. You can also see 4 objects on the table, meaning we will do 4 card readings for the sign of Sagittarius for October. Now, from these 4 objects, you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you would feel most comfortable with. This object of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current situation. If the object and the related video does not match your first choice, please check the other videos that also connected here. The matches here represent the fire element, the stone represents the earth element, the aerosol sprayer represents the air element, the shell represents the water element. So, Sagittarius, here we go for your card reading for October 2021. Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to the water or the shell group for your card reading for October 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that since 27 September up to October 18, Mercury is going retrograde, meaning it's not a good idea to sign contracts, agreements, anything you need to put your name under that officializes it. It's not a good thing to do. You will also see during that time your train is late, your flight is canceled, packages that need to be delivered in your home are going at the wrong destination, the containers is wrong. This is because our mind, the collective mind of all people, is running a little bit slower. Also, it's not a good idea to buy like cell phones or laundry machines. Why? Because they have warranty and the warranty is connected to the contract. So the general idea here is it's best not to buy anything or make any contracts at all if you can avoid. If how, for some reason, you feel obligated, you have no choice, you feel compelled, please double, triple check the fine print in the contract, because it's possible after you change your mind, you want to get out of the contract, you cannot anymore. If you want out, you need to pay a big fine, and the circle is starting. So the best thing to do here is to avoid contracts during that period. Now, coming back to the card reading for Sagittarius, for the shell or the water group. The first card that we see here is the birds. The birds points to that we need to be a little bit active, proactive, especially in communication. It can also points that we are a little bit nervous during that period. There's a lot of communication in general. We need to take initiative for communicating. But since the clouds is here in the middle, it can also point that we should stop talking for a while, hold our breath for a little bit and think for a while. Maybe we need to focus on some things before we communicate. Maybe there's a focus needed here, or maybe we cannot talk. It's like we need to evaluate the situation before we talk here, because this is what these 2 cards point to. It's also important that we don't overreact upfront and we think before we move. Especially, we have the last card here is the anchor, and the anchor tells us to move slow, to process slow. This is what is about. The central card here that we see here is the clouds. In general, it's not a very good card, especially in love relationships, but we will see this later. And also we have the fox here. So this card means, as I said, you need to focus on certain aspects of relationships and things that going around you. It points also that there could be complications related to the heart coming up to you. So things are maybe not so easy for the coming month for your person or for this group. So coming back to the general card reading, the first card that we see here is the birds and the sit. That we see here is we need to be careful here with this combination, that we are not metaphorically stabbed in the back that people don't hurt us. We need to be careful of that. We need to be aware also, maybe some things suddenly will change in our life. Suddenly we decide, or another person decides to stop talking to us. This can also mean that the relationship is going in a whole new phase. We start a relationship or we stop one. But I think in this case, it's going to be like a stop of the relationship here that we see here. Also, it's possible that for some reasons, we feel a little bit angry. Maybe it's related to this relationship that we have. We are more on our alert. We act swiftly. This is possible also that we see here with this combination. But anyway, this points to sometimes also to misunderstandings that suddenly appear, and also possible that this situation makes us a little bit sad. It's possible that this whole situation is related to a man, but if you're a woman, you can place yourself there. But since we have the man here, we suppose this is a man. It's possible that something suddenly happens with a man or a woman, because we do a general laying here, so we need to interpret the cards double because it's a general laying, so we need to input both genders here. So anyway, coming out from the idea, it's possible that there's something popping up suddenly with a man or a woman. This is something that is related to him. Maybe in a way he communicatively hurt you, he caused you problems. This is possible, or a woman. Here, in some cases also, this can point to a man who's in communication. He's very strong. In some cases, this could also point to a more assertive person. In some cases, it can point to aggressivity, but that will not always be the case here. But anyway, this points to a woman or a man who has a very sharp tongue. This is what we see here, but it's important here that you watch out for backstabbing. What is also possible here, this is possible if you have a relationship with a divorced man. This is possible also that we see here. Maybe the person has been married before. This is possible also what we see here. Then we have the second line. We have the garden, the clouds, and the heart. Here, this points to the garden points to to outside. We go out, and this is like discussions that we have in group. This is like we have a group meeting and there are disagreements in a group. So it's possible that everything that is not everything that happened in the group is sincere, is honest, especially when we have the fox here. We need to be careful because some people don't have honest intentions. This points, if I come back to the relationship in general, it means that one of both partners is half-hearted in the relationship. So we need to watch out, we need to watch around us for, as I said, not to get backstabbed. Anyway, coming back here to these two cards, this points to, if we operate in certain groups, that everything that is said there is not clear. Maybe there's some talking behind your back. This is what we see here. Sometimes also people don't know what they're saying or what they're doing. If you are connected to some social or political groups, it could also be possible that these events pop up there, that not everything that happens there is honest. And in another way, it's possible that you live in an area in the coming time that the weather is not so good. It could mean to literally clouds or bad weather. Then what we see more here, it's possible also if you go in certain meetings that you leave the meeting because you disagree. This is possible also with this combination. Anyway, if friends invite you there, maybe you go, but you don't like to be there and maybe you go. We see here also, sometimes also you need to watch out that some traps for you are not laid there. This is what we see here also. Anyway, this whole things, because it's the clouds, it brings confusion. Things are not clear. What is said is not clear. What the group is communicating is not clear. There's insecurity there. There are sometimes also this points to cultural difference or cultural misunderstandings, and everybody's confused. This is and some people also don't show themselves as they really are. It's like poker faces here. This is what we see here also. Then we have the clouds and the heart on itself. One of both people, but I'm assuming here this is the woman. The woman is thinking about the love affair. Or a person, man or the woman, is thinking about the love affairs. Maybe you already feel that this is not going the way that you both wanted, and you see that something is not correct here. There are concerns. You feel uncertain in this love relationship. It's possible also with this combination that one of the both partners is cheating in the relationship. This is possible here also. And it's possible that the other person then is lovesick. So this is possible here. There's like a confused love that we hear. There are insecurities. Maybe one of the partners don't see, but here, as I said, if the fox is here and you didn't see it, this is what happening here. It's like a blind love. We cannot see clear what is happening around us. It's also possible that one of both partners has an issue with loving the other one. Maybe he don't know well how to love, or he don't know how to show affection, be tender. This is possible, or this is the way that you feel it. Then we have the fox, the stork, and the anchor. The fox and the stork. The fox also sometimes points to our workplace. It could mean there are some changes in your workplace coming up, but in a way it also points to stability. But maybe there are some changes coming in the relationship and in the work environment. So both are here. Things will go a little bit slower. This is what we see here. Then here there's a kind of one of both partners or something in the workplace is transforming. There's like a transformation, because the stork is the bird of transformation. So some things are changing, but these changes eventually will lead to more stability for yourself, because the last line that we see here is positive. So I'm thinking this is a process that is going on, but by the end of the month or later, this would evolve to a positive situation. The changes that you are going through now may be difficult, things may be unclear, but eventually this will lead to a positive situation. This is what we see here. We need to be careful if these changes are going on, that everything is going in a correct way, that everything is in the way that we wanted. Sometimes also this can point that you are considering a job change or a change of career. This is possible also with this combination. Anyway, we need to take care of ourselves. We need to be aware that we need to take care of ourselves. This is what we see here also. Also, if you implement some changes, or you're thinking about some changes related to your job, you need to carefully assess the risks here before you take this step for going in another job, because the anchor is a slow card. So you need to make sure that everything is stable where you are going. It's not said that you cannot, you can, but you need to see that you have foothold, that the steps that you are taking are solid, because the anchor asks us to be solid. Maybe this change also is necessary, but it doesn't mean that you can go in it head over heels. This is what it means. Then we have the stork and the anchor on itself. It's possible. Maybe this is because of the end of the relationship that you consider moving into another place. This is possible also that we see here. maybe you don't feel so stable in this current relationship and you want to take other steps in your work. It's possible that it's both your work and the relationship that you want to step in a next phase of your life. Also, if you do this change, you should be committed to it. You should focus on it. You should be stable with it. You should focus on this transform. The anchor tells us to focus on it. If you do this change, it will be stable. This is a change on the long run. And also we have the heart here. It means that we are going into something that we really like. It's from our heart. This is what it means here. It's also possible that certain routines in your daily life are changing in your everyday life, and maybe because this is because of the change of work. Maybe some things are changing that you are already used to for a very long time. These things are changing. Then we have the verticals, the birds, the garden, and the fox. Here we see that certain things in groups where we function in are announced. If you would be a public speaker, this could point to public speaking professionally then. Here, this points that we share or we receive information in a certain group. Anyway, there's a lot of communication here. There's a lot of chatter going on. But since we have the fox here, we need to be careful that all this information that we are receiving is correct. Because sometimes with the fox, the information that we are receiving is incorrect, especially now also we have Mercury retrograde, so it's a little bit double. We need to be careful that information that we are receiving is correct, because when the fox is there, we need to look around us if everything is correct. The fox for work, it's a good card, but for communication, we need to see that everything is happening in an honest way. But for work, this could be a positive thing if we are in jobs related to communication. This is a good combination. But anyway, the information that is shared or that is given to us, we need to pay attention that we share everything. We are sure that everything that we share is stable. There can be some anxiety, some stress here. If you are confronted with a job in the future, it's possible also that you are nervous for appearing in public. Maybe this kind of line of job is new for you and it makes you a little bit nervous. This is possible. Maybe you have the feeling that people are gossiping about you, but I think here it's more the nerves that we are seeing here. Anyway, this points that you could be involved in public discussions. We see this coming here. We could be a little bit nervous. The community where we operate in or where we need to share this information, maybe they are not easy to get silent. Maybe they are noisy. It's possible also that you are sharing a lot of information on social media. You are very active in there. You're very busy on the social networks. Then we have the garden and the fox here. The job here that we have, as I said earlier, it could be related to communication. There's a lot of talking, messages are communicated here. But as I said here, you need to be very careful because sometimes this points also that a group of people can lay a trap of us and then we don't see it coming. So this is actually a warning. So you need to be careful if you operate in groups, that you are prepared for some things that could point to you. If you are in a group discussion, that they don't open a trap for you and that you step into the trap. This is what we see here also with this communication. So we need to be careful. We need to avoid to coming in that kind of situation. If we have no choice, we need to prepare ourselves that this could happen to us. Especially this can come from a colleague, or colleagues are preparing something for us. So we need to be careful here. It's better here that we are careful, that we hide certain things, because the fox in general is a smart card. So you need to make your bed before you go to sleep. This is what the fox does. The fox operates between dusk and dawn. So he is a smart card. He watch his back, and it's here, as we said here, you need to be careful here for backstabbing. Anyway, this points also, if you operate in group and you communicate things, that you will communicate in an authentic way. You don't have the style of other people, you have a unique style. Then we have the sit, the clouds, and the stork. Here we see again that there is a certain scaredness that you have over you. Maybe this is because maybe you're a very stable type. This is possible also because we have the anchor there, and you're not very good in changes of your life. So there might be a fright here for these changes. But anyway, if it's stable and you don't feel comfortable in your current position, you can, but you need to see that your steps are stable. This is what we see here. With the anchor, we need to be absolutely sure that the steps that we are taking are correct. So work slowly and be sure. Anyway, also some confusions that are happening now in your surroundings, they will clear up and they will lead to changes, because the stork is the bird of changes. We see this here also. If there is some confusion around you, it's possible also that you clear up this confusion. This is possible here also. In some cases also then related to the love relationship, as we mentioned earlier, it's possible that this also points to changes in the relationship. Maybe things clear up and you take a final decision. You rip the veil off, you move on. Maybe this relationship gives you a headache. In that case, it's of course better to end it. So this is what we see here also. Anyway, it's in this case, sometimes also it's possible that one of the both partners is pretending to be stable, but it's not the case. So this is what we see here also with this case. Anyway, there will be a form of enlightenment. You will see things in an intelligent way here. This is what we see here also. Things that are not clear will become clear to you. It's possible also that for some changes in your work, that if you change job, there is hard work required. This is what we see here also. You will need to be decisive. This is what we see here also with this combination. Here, this points also that, as I said before, this comes back here again. Before you make changes, you must be sure that everything is in order. It's very important that you do so, because it's always coming back here. The anchor requires us to be stable. The anchor don't change. So if you change, make sure that you are stable, that changes are stable for you, and that you can move on. This might also point that it's time to let certain situations go in your life. Here, then we come here in the general events, then again. I see here the same again. There are misunderstandings. These misunderstandings, maybe you walk out of certain events here. If you do, and this is related to your job, make your bed, because as I said earlier, we see here, maybe you stop something and you are suddenly in that, and after you come in a problem, and maybe there are certain risks involved for losing a job or for losing certain customers. So be careful if you do that, that your bed is made. Maybe also, if you feel uncomfortable, it's like you have a feeling of desperation and you want to get out of there. This is possible also with this combination. Then we have the man, the heart, and the anchor. The last line is actually a very good line. This is for the future. Here, the person, it means that the person is a close friend to you, or maybe somebody is very close to you, somebody who you can rely on. It's possible that there is another person coming in your life. Maybe he's already close to you, because mostly we are close to the anchor. So this could point to somebody who admires you, or maybe somebody close in your environment who literally has a crush on you. Maybe you're not aware of it because we have the clouds here. Sometimes it clouds our vision. So it's possible that somebody close to you is actually an admirer of her. But maybe this person is not the type that's coming forward easy. He's a slow type. This man would be a slow type. Or this woman would be a slow type, because we work for both genders here. Anyway, this points to a romantic person. It's possible also this points to a stable romance, a romance in the long run. It's possible that you both are infatuated, you are compassionate towards each other in the future, you are caring. So this is all for the future that we see here. So it means that both parties are involved here with their heart. So this is a very positive things that we see here. Then the anchor and the heart in itself. So this is a loyal relationship, friendly, a long relationship. There's a longevity commitment here, possible here, that we see here. Also, if you decide to go in that relationship, if you finally discovered that it's there, it's on the long run, this relationship, it's possible also that one of you both, maybe one of the both of you in this new relationship that is coming, that one of the both of you is clingy. Maybe this person comes always out of unstable relationship, and in the next relationship where we are going in, it's like this person is clinging on to us, or we cling on to that person. But anyway, this is all very stable. We also have a certain focus here on this love to come. This is what we see here also. Also, this point, in some cases, I want to add to this one also, it's possible that even if you have disappointments in your job or in your relationship now, that you are living actually for your job. You're very committed to your job, because that is what the anchor points to sometimes also. Then we have the birds, the clouds, and the stork. Here again, we see that we're receiving mixed messages. There are disagreements, also some bitter words here that we see. The exchange with certain groups is not very good. There is some hate even here possible. There are tensions here. Maybe here the best thing to do is that we take some distance, we wait our time, and we reevaluate the whole situation. This is mostly the best thing to do with this kind of situation. Maybe the gossips and the relationship, it gives you a headache, and it's time to move on from this. It will make you a little bit restless. I'm aware of it. It can be chaotic at times. Also, you need to be careful not to, if something is confidentially told to you, especially with the fox here, that you don't, if you in your anger, that you don't share a secret that is given to you. You need to be careful for that. Maybe you get angry, and you need to be careful that something important that is in confidence given to you, that you don't put that out. So this is what we see here also. Then we have the clouds and the anchor in itself. Here then we see here that we will, if things proceed, we will refocus ourselves. We determine where we want to go, and we determine slowly what is the new objective for us. You will make a decision. After all these disruptions and interruptions and unclarity and gossip, you will decide another way to go, especially with the stork. With the stork, sometimes the changes can be quite big. Since I don't see actually traveling here, so this is what also the card of travel, but I think here it's related to certain changes in your life, permanent changes that you're undertaking. Probably you're tired of all this bad working atmosphere that is hanging around you. What do we see more here? just see that again, that the professional changes that you are making are solid. Then we have the man, the clouds, and the fox. Again, here we see that a certain person in our environment is causing us tensions. We always get the same with the cards. We will need to resolve it, this difficult situation. It's possible also here with this combination, since the stork returns, that one of both partners is going back into a relationship. Maybe that's why the dishonesty is that I didn't see this before. Maybe it's possible here also with this combination that one of both partners is going back to a relationship where he or she has been into before. This is possible. If this is the case, this person also has some trouble from their own. This is what we see here also. Anyway, this person thinks probably about going back to that relationship. That's probably why there's a dishonesty in the relationship. You probably feel that coming and you're probably confused about it. This is what we see here. This person don't know what he wants, I think, even though he is a decisive type, but it's like also there's unclarity there. Then we have the clouds and the fox here again. We see the deception. You need to be careful here. You need to play it smart, especially on the work front. Don't reveal intentions that you have. Don't blab secrets. Don't things that are confidential to you, things you know that could help you. Don't tell them because you need to defend yourself. Keep it to yourself. The fox tells us to be calm. The fox tells us to be smart, and the anchor tells us to be slow. Keep it slow, keep it restly. Don't reveal your intentions. Keep the cards, as they say, close to your chest. It's possible also here that you feel stressed sometimes, and this stress, like you go to the closet, you take some cookies and you start eating cookies. This is what we see here also because of the stress. Anyway, see, you know all the facts here. This is important. See, you have all the facts. If you are then finishing with this situation, then it's the right time to make your move. Then the fox will let you come out, and then you can conceal what is your real intention. But before, Sagittarius can be sometimes very open-hearted and very honest. The cards here tell you not to be like this. Just keep your cards to your chest here. This is what this combination tells us. But anyway, in the future, this is a very good thing here for the future. There's somebody stable here, somebody who can literally hold on. He will hold on, he or she will hold on to your heart. So there's a very good positive evolution here after these problems, work-related, are solved. Just see that you make the right steps in a slow pace. So Sagittarius, for the month of October, this is all for now. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. Also watch my other financial videos that you can find on my channel. Anyway, thank you for your time and see you in my other videos. Bye-bye for now. Thank you. Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to the Aerosol or the Air Group for your card reading for October 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that on 27 September up to 18 October, Mercury started running retrograde. It's not a good idea to sign agreements, contracts, anything you need to put your name under for officializing it. It's not a good thing to do. You will also see during that period, your flight is canceled, packages that need to arrive in your home are wrongly delivered, the containment is wrong, emails that you are about to receive are coming late, it has consequences. It is all related because our mind, the mind of all people, is tending to run a little bit slower during that period. Also, during that time, it's not a good idea to buy cell phones, laundry machines. Why? These devices are connected to a contract, and the contract is representing a warranty, and we come in the circle. So anyway, the general idea here is not to sign any contracts or make any agreements whatsoever. If for some reason you feel obligated, you have no choice, you feel compelled, or you want to sign a contract, please double, triple check the fine print, because it's possible after you change your mind, you want to get out of the contract, you cannot anymore because there are some clauses in the contract, you didn't see them. If you want to get out, you need to pay a big fine, and there we are. So anyway, the general idea here is not to sign any contracts at all. Coming back to our card reading for the aerosol or the air group for the Sagittarius. The first card here, these are two important cards here. The middle card here is is the coffin. It means that for the moment, it's not an easy period. It's like we need to make decisions, but it's not yet the right time. We don't know what we need to decide. And since we have the cross here, but later I will go in details, it's like with the cross here, it's like destined to be. We need to decide and we cannot. It's a very difficult situation here that we have here, not necessarily unsolvable, but for now, it's like things are stuck. Anyway, we'll go into details now. First here is the crossroads and the cross here. Probably you come in a certain period of your life that is ending. The ending, it's mostly not, I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's more like it's meant to be. And also in a way, this ending, it protects you. So it will not let events happen before it's their actual time, because you see the sun next to it, especially with the sun next to it, it means that if you cannot move now, it has a reason, it has a purpose. And this card, it's a burden, I know, because you cannot decide, but afterwards you will feel it as a relief because you cannot decide now, or there are some things that are preventing you from making certain decisions. Anyway, coming back to these cards here, after this, then we will move on to something new. There is something new in view here, and something positive is coming. But maybe for now, we are restrained. We cannot move. If we would make a decision, the decision would probably lead to nowhere. So it would have a negative result. So don't force yourself for making decision if you think it's going nowhere, because I think it's going nowhere, because I think this road leads to nowhere. It leads to the cross. You see, the road leads to the cross, so it leads to nowhere. Maybe also during this time, you have, if you need to choose something, it's like you cannot, that there is loss of choices. You cannot choose like that. This is possible also with these combinations. It's possible you feel a little bit ambiguous about the whole situation. And it's possible on the longer run that some things are totally disappearing out of your life, but it will have a positive result. Maybe it's heavy, but it will have a positive result. Here then, what we see here, the cross and the sun. As I said earlier here, the cross and the sun, it's like something is preventing us for moving on, but the prevention of all this is actually very positive. It will work out on the long run. And it's like you will get a renewal of your faith. You will be afterwards, you will be optimistic. Also, you will be more encouraged afterwards, and you will feel relieved that all these problems are behind you. Anyway, here, coming back to this, here we see that these are important decisions that you will make. Coming back to this, it's like a profound transformation that is going on here. It can be a difficult time, but in the same way, in the future, it will be exciting that you have undergone all these transformation. Maybe you need to make tough choices also that we see. Maybe these choices also are related to your religion. This is possible, or in your in your path of life. This is possible also. But anyway, here it's like here the choices are hard. The choice can be the cross can be hard here. Anyway, it's also maybe we deliberate over some principles that we have here that we need to take. It's possible, as I said earlier, that you cannot take certain choices here. Then with the other two cards here, if you have certain responsibilities that are coming to you, even now they are difficult, it will be, even if you have these responsibilities and it's not easy, there will be a form of joy involved. It's difficult to explain, but it's like here there's a joy involved even if you suffer. It's like it gives you a sense of release. This is what we see here. It cannot, maybe in the future, it will also, you will have to do efforts. The last line is more positive, and it's positive, but here in this first line here, these two cards, it's like you need to do efforts, or you need to put pressure for moving ahead. It will not be easy for moving ahead here. It's like here we see the coffin in the middle, and it's coffin. It's closed. The coffin is closed, and it don't let us move. We need to think. It's like we are transforming here. But anyway, on the long run, this is a very good combination, because this is like it's destined to be positive. So it's a positive combination, but not easy. But it's a protection. It's destined to be that it need to be like this. We cannot change it. It's the cross is destination, so we cannot change it. Then we have the anchor, the coffin. Here we see again that certain things in your life will absolutely end. The cross is sure, and this is the end. So an ending will come. It will involve serious transformations, because the coffin is a transformation. We will not be as we are before, or certain things in our life will disappear, and they will not come back as they were. It's possible after this period of waiting, maybe in the beginning of this month, going to the end of the month, if this period of waiting in the beginning of the month is over, suddenly, because the sit is suddenly these changes are there. But you will not be allowed to move forward before it's the right time with the cross. So this is what we see here. I don't see directly a relationship here in this laying, but this points also here that something is relieved from us. We are relieved from something. We are relieved, and we will leave something behind, and maybe this was already dead or gone or past, and we kept hold to it, but now we will decide to finally move on. Also, this points, this combination, that we need to take care of our health. If you feel a little bit under the weather of this situation, see you have enough vitamins, fresh foods, that you have enough sunlight there for taking care of yourself, because here this points that we need to take care of our health, that we need to see we eat healthy, we take enough vitamins, we have enough minerals. This is what this points also. It's possible also with this combination about this whole thing that is going to pass, that you feel a little bit nostalgic, that you feel a little bit sad maybe that this is past, but it's in the past time. Sometimes we need to move on. Maybe this transformation, it's possible that you decline it, that you don't want it in the beginning, but in some cases, and in most cases with the coffin, we have no choice. We need to move on. We cannot hold on anymore, because the old is literally gone, especially with the sit next to it. We cannot hold on. It's possible also we have certain grief here, that we see here, that it's a difficult situation to move on from, but suddenly, as I said, you will get on the move, you will accept it probably, and you will move on, and you will get over it, over this situation. Then we have the coffin and the sit on itself. Here, we see that we are in a very difficult situation before we can move on. Also, it's possible that somebody around us is going away out of our life. Maybe literally somebody is passing away here with this combination. It's possible here that somebody is passing away out of our life. It happens sometimes in the lane. So in this lane, it's possible that somebody close to us is passing away, because with the anchor, it's mostly somebody who's fairly close to us. Of course, this will not apply on everybody, but for certain people here in this group, it will apply. What do we see more here? Here, there could be also some that you disconnect from some things in your life, or maybe the disconnection is from this person, but you will disconnect from certain things. It's possible that this ending, if there would be a death in your environment, that's because we have the sit here, it's quite suddenly, it's unexpected. Suddenly this person is passing away, and well, that are the facts of life and we cannot change it. This is possible also. It's possible also after this happened, you withdraw a little bit because you need to digest this situation. This is what we see here also. Then we have the stork, the letter, and the book. Here, that this means that certain news is coming to us, but we have the book here, so the news that is coming to us is not yet clear. So it's like the book hides things, and the coffin hides things also. So we cannot see it. But here, the sit, after this period of grief is over, the sit will open the book, because the sit is a strong card. It has the ability to open the book, what is the message here that is coming to you, and the message will have a positive effect because we have the sun there. So once the coffin is open, it's like it's coming to light. That's why we have the sun there. So what we see here, so this is positive news. In some cases here also, if we still would be studying, or if we study additional, this can sometimes point to a degree. So this is the letter is a document of value. So it means we can translate the document in money. A degree we can translate in money, why we can find a job with it, or it can represent a bond or things that have value that are written on paper, in some cases even money. So anyway, here there's a lot of communication. There comes transformation because of this transformation. There will be severe changes. It's possible also that you have certain conversation, or you double, triple check the documents. If the news that is in the document is really correct, you check and recheck the information here. But this points to a new start. And this will change a very big thing in your life. Here with this laying for this group, there's a lot of changes going on here, transformative communication, transformative messages that we are receiving. And also you will want also that the communication that you have about certain topics, they have meaning. You don't want waste your time, useful conversation. You want that people come to the point here with this combination. You want meaningful conversation. Also, sometimes, for some people, sometimes Sagittarius are travel, but I don't see immediately travel here. The only card that is pointing to a seashore or water here is the anchor. But this sometimes points also that we are allowed to relocate, because the stork is a migrating bird, and this would then be the document that allows us, and that would be the visa. So it's possible, maybe it's in your planning already for a long time, and it's part of your plan. So this could mean like a relocation on that one. This is possible here also. Anyway, there's a total change here that we are seeing here. Then we have the letter and the book on itself. Again, here we see that if there's some changes in your life, this will be like a shocking news. It will surprise you. You will need to sit a moment down. It's probably also, it will not be easy news. Maybe you get emotionally hurt by this news. It's possible that you need to take some distance from the whole situation for repositioning yourself. So this is possible also. But anyway, this points also in then by the end of the month that you will learn something that has been hidden from you, because the book hides things and the coffin keeps things quiet. The cross is slow and the anchor also. So this all points to a very, in the beginning, it's slow and suddenly it's revealed and the documents are there and you will need to decide, and now you cannot move. This is what this is saying here. Sometimes this combination here, these two cards here, they can point to, as we said earlier, degrees. This comes back here again. It can mean that you receive a report or an exam certificate is coming to you. Sometimes also it can point to notebooks or documents, contracts, anything related to institution, but I don't see here the tower direct, but I'm just saying here what this means. Also, you will speak the truth, or the truth will be spoken to you. You will get to know some things. Anyway, the documents that you are receiving here are to be trusted. It's possible that money comes to you here with this combination. You're entrusted with money. This is what we see here also. The letter is trusted and it has money value. If documents are revealed, also some secrets that you didn't know, things that you are not aware of, that were subconscious to you, will be coming clear for you. This is like something you mastered, maybe you mastered something, and this is the degree of the mastering. If you're waiting on a document, this document is coming. If it's a degree or something you're waiting on, the document will be coming to you. This is what we see here also. This points also to an intelligent person, a person who has knowledge. Sometimes also this points, if we receive certain messages, that sometimes it's best to keep the containers from the messages for us. The coffin asks us to keep quiet, the book asks us to keep it secret, and the anchor tells us to focus on it and wait till the right time. So if something receives to you, before you speak about that, be sure that you want to share that information. Here, it's like we are asking ourselves, do I really need to reveal this information? If you don't feel comfortable about it, no need to share it. This is what we see here. Then we have the crossroads, the anchor, and the stork. In the future, and we already saw there's a relocation possible. This could point that you are settling down somewhere else. I don't see the actual moving cards here, but I see documents here, moving documents, visas. So it's possible also that you decide to settling down somewhere else. If it's not in abroad, you will decide to go in another place and stay there for a while, because the anchor makes us stay for a while. So maybe it's not the exact right time because there is too much going on, but it's possible that you relocate for a short while. This is possible here also that we see. Maybe it's because with the coffin, it tells us to wait. It tells us to wait. Don't take over haste decisions. Wait till it's the right time. Later on, maybe you can settle down. Possible also with this is that we do exploration. this is probably not a bad thing to do. We explore something for settling down afterwards. But for a definitive decision, I think these cards tell us not to do so. Anyway, later on, you will land on your destination if you choose to do that. Maybe you need to roam around. Sometimes Sagittarius is a traveler. We know he's the traveler of the astrological belt. So maybe you need to explore, and because it's also the explorer, maybe you need to explore some things in the future, and then you will settle down eventually. It's possible also with this combination that because of all these changes, you need to make certain career choices. This is what we see here also. It's possible that this is connected also, that you make decisions that are involved for your work or for your business here. There's like a career choice here, work-related decisions that we see here. And I think these decisions that you will take, if you will take them, they will be final. Anyway, afterwards, I think here also you will have the freedom to leave. You will probably first move on. This is what we see here for a first step, and then you will. But here this tells us we have the freedom to leave afterwards. We pause, and then we decide, and then we stick to it. So this is what we see here. Then we have the anchor and the stork on itself. Maybe in the beginning you don't, because if you are in a difficult situation, sometimes it's difficult to decide because we have a lot of stuck things here. But this tells us we have the will to change. If we want to get through to it, even if we have less energy, we have the will to proceed. So you have the will to move on, to move out, to let go. So you have here the strength, because the anchor gives us strength. And the birds here, the stork here makes it possible for us that we undergo these changes. And if you eventually will take the changes upon you, and you decide to move on, you will be glad that you have taken these decisions. It's possible if you go temporary somewhere, there is water involved, because here we see water and here we see water. So it's possible that you go to the seashore or a lake or some place where there is water for making a deliberation where you are and where you want to go. This could be a temporary place where you're going here. Anyway, there's a very strong focus here on the whole transformation. Also, there will be a change of your daily routines that we see here. It's possible if you are there in this place where there is water, where you are temporary, you really feel grounded there. You feel at your place there in nature there. But I think it's a place that is easy to reach, even though it could be a little bit remote, but I think it's easy to reach because we have the roads there. Then we have the cross, the coffin, and the letter. Here again, we see the combination from somebody who has gone away from us. For those who are more in the spiritual side, here we could say that this person is still watching over us. So we can see this here in this combination. It was probably the time for this person to go. It was his time. But in a way, in a sense, he's still with you. This is what we see here also. Anyway, this points also, we are in a phase of grief, we have pain, but here this points also that it says that better times are coming. And you need to take care of your health here again. Don't let this influence your health. Eat well, try to eat something if you don't feel, even if you don't feel it, just eat the basics. That you can do. Maybe there's some, like you feel a little bit dark here with this combination. This is possible also. You feel it maybe as a self-sacrifice here. You suffer from this loss. This is possible with this combination. Then we have the coffin and the letter. Again, here we see the delays here, the delays from news. If you receive the news will be solid. It's possible that these documents are arriving late. They are not on time. This is possible also. We said already Mercury is running retrograde. It's possible that you need to receive certain important documents related to these transformations, and these documents come late. So, but you can do nothing about it. It's destined to be. I'm sure after 18 they will arrive. So this is what we see here also. If you don't feel if you feel under the weather, also sometimes it's good thing that we do a checkup. We do a checkup of our body. This is what we see here also, that this can point to the checkup of your body. So it's not a bad thing here. Sometimes we do a checkup. What we see here more. Also here, it points that we will communicate about the loss that we are having. We will inform others from this, excuse me, we will inform others from this situation that is happening in our life. Then we have the next line, the sun and the sit. After this rather difficult period here in the beginning of the month, we will feel free. We will express ourselves to be free. We will cut ourselves loose. We will release ourselves from something that has been blocking us for a long time. Especially the anchor can be slow and dragging. And here we will actually relieve ourselves. We will let it go. What was stopping us before is passing. It's in the past, and we will go. We also will be more creative during that time. You will find more joy in life. You will making a lot of positive decisions. There will be a lot of happy things to come in your life. If you're planning to do some business in the future, these operations tend to be successful, and it's possible if you go in a business in the future, this happens all very fast. Everything is going very fast. Everything will be cleared up. Things will become clear for you. This is what we see here also. Then the sit and the book on itself. Again, here we see the revelation here. I assume here this is a positive revelation that we see here. The secrets are revealed. Some things in the documents will be revealed to you. Maybe this person that passed away revealed something to you that you didn't know of. Maybe if you want to do something in the future, there will be certain risks involved that you need to take. This is possible also. If you are a student, it's possible here that this is your final exam. This is what we see here also. And then we already saw that the document is there. So this is positive. The documents will come to you. Maybe the documents are delayed again. Then we come in the cross. We have the crossroads, the coffin, and the book. Again, here we end in a phase in our life. I just see if I can add some more things here. Also, we see memories here. You explore the past, things that are happened in the past. In the beginning, you feel a little bit restrained, but it will end. It will change there. Maybe you will try to express your grief in a different way. Maybe by keeping yourself a little bit there near to the water, and maybe you meditate. That's possible also that you meditate a little bit there. This is possible also. But anyway, it's possible that you don't grieve like other people. You have another way of grieving. This is possible. Some people can grieve by travel. Some people can grieve by sitting. So there's possibilities here. Maybe it's not, you're not the traditional, it's not a traditional way of grieving, but every person has his way. Then we have the coffin and the book here. So as we saw here, currently there is no solution possible here. We already had that. These are again here that we see here the exams that we need to take on university of college. We already had that. Then we have the sun, the coffin, and the stork. This means that you complete something successfully. So we see this here. In a way, also, this could point to a sunny area where you are going, water and sunny. If you would be able to travel water and sunny, this is possible also. Maybe this will energize you if you see the sun. This is possible also. You will feel better. Maybe some situations in your life, as you move on, will be recreated. It's an odd thing to say, but this is what we see here also. It's like something out of the past is recreated. If it happens, you will know what I mean. This is what we see here also. Anyway, there is some rest here that you need. The period of grief then will be ending. It's possible also that here that you meet some people here who have been famous before, like they pass on your path in life. They have been celebrities before and they pass in your life, and maybe it brings you some changes. They give you some perspectives. This is what this points to also. If you are traveling, it's possible that you're traveling in an older vehicle. This is what we see here also, maybe with an antique vehicle. This is what we see here also. What we see here more, you will then eventually let go of the memories. Childhood memories are letting go of. Something is electrifying us here also. I mean this in a positive way. Also, this combination brings hope. Here, this is what we see here also. There's a positive process here going on. If you let go, you will find your happiness, because we have the sun there, and then the coffin in the stark. It's ending, as I said then. Again, here it's confirmed that you finally will end all the delays. Everything will start on the move. It will go fast. The things that are delayed are ending, and this is the end of the transformation, and you can move on. So Sagittarius, this was not an easy laying, but there are some nice perspectives here in the future. I think all in all, this is a transforming period. Some of us undergo these conditions. It's part of life. Anyway, I hope you're happy with this card reading. Happy in the sense of that you get more knowledge. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching my channel. You can also watch my financial videos that are also on my channel. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for spending time on my channel. And I wish you all the best in this situation. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye for now. Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to the stone or the earth group for the month of October 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that on 27 September, Mercury started running retrograde. It's not a good idea during that period up to 18 October, 27 September up to 18 October. It's not a good idea during that time for signing contracts, agreements, anything that you need to put your name under that officialize it. It's not a good thing to do. You will also see during that period, your train is late, your flight is canceled, packages that need to arrive in your home are wrongly delivered, the containers is different, your emails is late, it has consequences. These are all things that are connected with Mercury retrograde. The reason is because our mind, the mind of all people, is tending to run a little bit slower. Also, during that time, it's not a good idea, like for instance, for buying cell phones, laundry machines. Why? These devices are connected to a contract, and the contract is related to the warranty. Some problems can pop up after. Anyway, the general idea here is not to sign any contracts at all during this period. However, if for some reason you have no choice, you feel obligated, you want to sign the contract, please double, triple check the fine print, because it's possible after you change your mind. You cannot change your mind anymore because you're already bound. If you want to get out, you need to pay a fine, and we are in the circle. So the best thing to do here is during that period is not to sign any contracts or don't go in any form of engagements. Anyway, coming back here to the card reading for Sagittarius for the stone group. The first card that we see here is the stork. The stork is a big bird, so it means some big changes are about to happen in your life. These changes will you are about to get involved in something new. I see the book here next. Maybe you get involved in some form of studying. Here it tells us also to take a lot of initiative regarding then to that study. We need to unleash our own potential for studying. We need to not hold ourselves back anymore, and we need to focus here on the structure that this study will bring us, because the tower is the structure. This could also point to university or a higher form of education. Then the second card here, the card in itself, it also points that maybe it's the best thing to do, especially with the snake here, because the snake is a quiet card. It waits till it's the right time to move. So maybe if we take a decision about going to study, it's not the right time yet to reveal this, because the snake urges us to be quiet. Maybe also not even to friends. It's best that we don't mention it yet till we are sure that we are going in that direction. That is what we are seeing here. Anyway, this tells us to keep quiet about it if we can. Also, it asks us to do the required research before we take action, that we know all the facts, that we know all the truths, that we know all the answers for our pursuit that we are likely to follow. And we also need to be patient. And if we are going into it, we need to keep to our structure. Now we are going here in the cards, the first horizontal line that we see here. So we have the stork and the snake here. Here we see that some changes that you are about to take are about to turn around. Excuse me. Maybe something is happening in your life, a change is happening in your life, and it's like you don't want to resist to these changes. This is what you do, but what we see here, sorry. It's possible here that the way to operate here, if there's some changes in your life, is to do this in a calm way. In a calm way, you don't need to prove your point. Just do your thing in a calm and relaxed way. This is what we see here. This will cause a deeper transformation. It will cause more knowledge. You will get to know more things. We saw already it's related to a study. It might not be easy, and maybe we'll need to reach our targets in a roundabout way, because the snake tends to go around and the bird is changes. So it's like changes are coming up to us, but we need to get there in a roundabout way. This is what we see here also. It's possible that certain women in our environment, if you are a man, that is, that are undergoing some changes. I want to mention this immediately. If you are involved in a love affair or with a lover, the snake always points to triangle affairs. So it means that one of both is involved in more than one relationship. We see the heart here, so I'm assuming there's a lover, and we have the bouquet here. So if you're not aware of this situation, you should look around you. Maybe there's a false friendship going on here, or maybe you assume you're the only lover, but I would strongly recommend you to investigate about this to make sure this is the case, because mostly when the snake is there, this is not the case that you are the only lover. Anyway, here these two cards is a transformation. You desire for this transformation here. Sometimes also, if you are a student, here we need to be careful not to get pregnant with this combination. So see, you take your precautions for that if that is not your plan. or you can use any means for not getting pregnant. This is what we see here. You need to be careful here about that. It's best if that is not your plan. I'm assuming if you're studying, it's not your plan. So here also, this is what we see here. It could mean that this person, this woman, if you are a man, or there is a woman in your life that has a very strong influence on your person. So this is possible. If you are a woman, it could be that a woman is close to you, and maybe this person don't show it, but there's actually jealousy in this friendship. There's a reason here why this person is jealous of you. So we need to be careful also with our lovers, that this person is not involved in this relationship. Sometimes the danger is always close to us, as we know. Anyway, it's like somebody here is trying to spin a net around you. So be careful with friends, because the dog is friends and colleagues. So be careful about that here also. Maybe this woman or this person is not yet showing her true colors. This is what happening again here. Also be careful, if this situation happened before, don't think that it cannot happen again. This is what it says here also, because sometimes events can reoccur. We have the tower here and the bouquet, so it's possible that this happened in the past and the situation happens again. Maybe some promises are made and the situation reoccurs again. This is what we see here also. Sometimes also this that it points to that we are coming in a changing situation, and these changes are causing a form of stress of us. But anyway, this points also that you need to persevere. You need to go through with your plans here, especially if this is involving for studying. But as we saw here, it could be that there's a second woman involved. And as we say here, this is actually the one behind the screen is the one in charge. So this is what we see here also. If you're in a relationship with a man, the woman, the other woman, she's in charge. So this is what we see here also. Anyway, this points also on the study. Then it points to a very strong focus here that you have for your objectives. You have desire to get there. You can use your witness, your smartness for getting through this study, and you will, because the structure, the tower is here. You will need to keep to a certain structure. You will need to commit serious, because the cross tells us we need to be serious about this study. It's destined to be, but you need to be serious. You need to be committed. The dog is committed and he follows. So you need to be committed to this study. Also be careful. Also, sometimes in these areas in school, sometimes there are some mind expanding things that going around, like marijuana. Also, this could be this combination. So be careful if you use those things. Anyway, we need to be careful here with this combination, not to be manipulated. The person here close to you, this is what we call a frenemy, this combination. So this person pretends to be your friend close to you, but actually she under the skin, there's something else going on. Maybe she has certain objectives, and I'm sure she has. So be careful for that here. This is like somebody we rather don't have close to us. But maybe this person, she charms you, and maybe you don't see it as it really is. If this is a man, this man is charming you, but it's actually somebody we better should stay away of. But sometimes love makes us blind. So we need to be careful here with this combination. Maybe you desire this friendship, you desire that this friendship turns into love, but things are not always what we see. This could also point to dishonest friendships here that we see here, friendship that are in a roundabout. This is what we see here. Anyway, maybe you are the one who following the direction of this friend, and maybe this friend is misdirecting you, or this lover is misdirecting you. This is what we see here also. This could also point like to a person in charge, like maybe a person who has natural leader skills here, and the other people follow. This is good. Where we see that sometimes in universities, like alpha people here. This is what we see here. Anyway, this person, this lover or this person, they have their own agenda and they are smart. So you are the one, if you are the one in the other position, you will need to approach it in a smart way and you need to look around you. Then we have the cross and the book and the bouquet. Here, because you come in this certain transformation, it will also involve some soul searching. This is what we see here with this combination. It's possible in some cases that this is a religious study because, or a spiritual study because we have the cross here, but not always will be the case. Anyway, something will be revealed to you here. There's an initiation. Maybe the study in a way is related to beauty. If this is possible, or some things that are beautiful, or in the future they will make things beautiful. Anyway, this points sometimes to a higher education related to beauty, or that makes things comfortable for other people's life. This is what we can see here with this combination. Anyway, this is also an invitation that we get from the higher, from above us. It's destined to be that we undergo this study. It's like here we get more esoteric knowledge here that we see here, and actually it has a very positive effect on our person. Of course, this knowledge, it comes with responsibility. We see the tower there and we see the cross here. If you study this study, some things will be revealed to you because we have the book here. And some of the facts that are revealed to you during this study will give you responsibility. Sometimes we follow certain studies, some things are revealed to them, and some of these things are better not to share it in public. This is what we see here in this lane. Anyway, some things that are revealed to you can work as a burden on you. Literally, as I said, this can point to the Bible, the Quran, the Tanakh, anything, any religious book or any spiritual study that we see here. It's possible also that you study spiritual old documents because the book can represent old. It's possible that you are not unfamiliar in the field because sometimes this card tends to come back, and also the tower. Maybe you are not unfamiliar in the field. Maybe you know some of these things, but still you will get to know things that you didn't know also. Sometimes also this can point to certain exams that we will be taking in the future. This could be also what we are seeing here. There's religious things that you will write down here. This is what we see here also. It's possible. Anyway, it's like this is your duty, this is your path to go, the study that you need to follow, it's meant to be. But eventually it will lead to more comfort in a structural way, Then we have the book and the bouquet in itself. If you are in a relationship yourself, this can point to somebody close to you that is actually a secret admirer of you. This person has probably not yet revealed it because we have the book here, but I think in your surroundings, there's a secret admirer here because the book keeps secrets and this is then the admirer. So it's possible here that you have a secret admirer around you. This person keeps quiet, he keeps himself distant, but you can be sure somebody is there in your surroundings that admires you. Here also then the education on itself, even though it's not easy, you will also have a form of enjoyment in it, maybe because you learn a lot. You learn a lot of things in your life that can progress you. Anyway, this points to also burdens and happy revelations. So it's a little bit of both. So it's like a balance here because Venus is the balance here. So we need to balance ourselves here a little bit. But anyway, the study actually will bring you on the long run. It will make you happy. What we see more here, that also if you study hard you will be praised for your achievements here. This is what we see here also. In some cases also, If you have plans for educating others, if that is your objective on the long run, points to a talent for education. Especially when we have the tower here, maybe you're able to educate in higher institutions, or maybe if you're already progressed in your life, this points to that you will be teaching already, and then you would be teaching in a higher form of education, like the university or a school that is in higher education. What do we see more here? Also, you will see through some things will be revealed to you, that people flatter to you for certain reasons, for their own benefit. We see this here coming again. Then we have the heart, the stars, and the tower. If this situation of this relationship has put a strain or a burden on you, the stars is a healing card. So it's possible that you will heal from this heartache. The stars heal quite fast. And it's possible also in futurist relationship, you will become more distant, maybe because you trusted too much, because the dog is trust. And maybe you don't go for the beauty side anymore. Maybe you get smart and you are not fooled anymore of appearances. You learned an important lesson, and that is beauty is not necessarily connected to honesty. Maybe this is the lesson here that we take about here. Anyway, this also points that it's possible here that we let go of some things. We are relieved of some things that were burdening us before. This also points to a new position in our life, a new phase in our life, excuse me, and a love can actually materialize here in our life. It's possible that this person that you get the crush on is quite publicly popular. He's quite publicly popular, or he or she. This is possible here, what we see here. It's possible also that you get a more spiritual point of view about love. You idealize it more. So be careful for that one. Learn about your lessons here. This is what anyway, this points to a loving connection here. That is what we see here. Then we have the stars and the tower in itself. This is actually a very positive combination, especially because we have the bouquet there also. This is like we are protected. The cross also protects us. So the study in itself is protected, and it's gonna go the right way. But here also we see actually the stars protect us. The stars is yes. So if we follow a certain structure and pattern, we will be protected. We are in after this. If we have a difficult situation afterwards, there will come a long patch of good luck here for us. This is like we are receiving a sign that is meant to be for our path. This is the dreams that we want to achieve, and we can go for it. Maybe you see this also later when you come in another period of your life. You see this as a very spiritual time in your life, when you later on you will reflect on it. Anyway, this points to high hope, also chance on a higher position. If you're already working, this could point also to a higher position, somebody who's in charge. You want to achieve high goals. For some of us here, for some of these group here, so this points to meditation, because we see the cross here also. Sometimes this points to elevation, meditation. This points also, there could be a strong focus also besides that, next to the study. This is what we see here also. And you believe that you also want to reach certain spiritual goals next to the study, or in a way it's connected to it. Then we have the stork, the cross, and the heart. Something very important. This is a life-changing event that is about to happen in your life. we see here, if it's related to study or education. Anyway, something very important is about to happen in your life. Anyway, if you open your eyes, you can see the signs, but you will see when it's too far, you will say, yeah, this is a sign, this is the way that I need to go. So you will see it when it's the time there. Also, there will be, of course, if you make choices, there will be consequences. So we need to mention that here also. You will see the signs, but the signs also, if you make the choice, there will be responsibilities coming with it. Maybe there's some suffering in the study. We saw that earlier. But maybe that's what we need to undergoing. It's possible also that you have some ideologies that you leave behind, and you get different points of view because of this study. Sometimes if we study, it can change our point of view. Sometimes there will be strokes of fate, some things will change in your life. This is what we see here also. It's like a growing pains here that we are undergoing here. Then we have the cross and the heart on itself. It's possible that somebody close to us comes in our life, and this person, he or she feels really like a soulmate. We learn important lesson from this person. This is what we see here. There's important transforming lessons here to be learned here that we see. It's also, these lessons can come with a form of psychological pain. This is what we see here also. But anyway, if there is pain involved, you will take the best out of it and you will move on. You will move on, because this is the card of healing. This is the card of healing. Here also what we see here, I'm assuming here, if you discover that there's a third party involved in this relationship, it will end and you will move on to a next relation. I think this could be the partner for you that really changes your life here. This is possible in the future, what we see here also. And as I said, this is probably the secret admirer that we see here in the future. Anyway, you will keep to your duties. Here also, this is what we see. Maybe you believe in each other. If this partner is revealed, you will believe in each other. There is some fate here. Then we have the snake, the book, and the stars. Here we see that we get more knowledge by studying. This is what we see. Possibly, again, we see the esoteric matters here, high spiritual studies. But also there's a certain structure involved here. Anyway, it goes, it will benefit you. We see the flowers here. And it's like, if you do these things, these studies, it's like you feel renewed. And when as you are studying, it's like you feel that you are already have been there. It's like something, some territories in there are not unfamiliar for you. It's like you open a book, you watch in a book and you see, and then you think, oh, it's like you have flashbacks, like deja vus here. This is what we see here. It's like it's not unfamiliar for you here. Also what we see here. Again, here we come in religious, Bibles, Quran, Tanakh, anything here, we come again in that field. Again, we see that we already had here, this points to an academic career here that we see here. Again, you study diligently if you're still a student. Also, this points that you believe in your own intelligence, you're focused on your own intelligence, and you should be, because there's nice things for you coming here. Then here we have the book and the stars. This points to a very, very good academic success. It's very positive, especially with the stars there. It's also possible here, I didn't mention this before, this can also point that you pray or meditate. This is what we see here also. You look for yourself here. We saw that here earlier. We see that here coming back. Some puzzles that are not complete in your life will be solved. In another way, maybe if you study, maybe you also have a job that is not official. It's like you earn some money here. This is possible. Maybe in the evening, the money is not official. This is possible. Also, a lot of students do this. Also, this could point that you have certain talents for as we do here now, for card reading, astrology, astronomy, literally working with cards. If you do a study involving with cards, like for instance, the maps that we find online, the digital maps, this is also like that. Maybe you have a future in that. Cartography, this is what we see here. This is all possible with this combination. Anyway, this points to an extensive knowledge that will come to you. What we see here more, you will tackle difficult tasks here. This is what we see here also. Anyway, this all points to spiritual studies that we see here, or studies that involved with a certain form of beauty. You will find the beauty in it. This is what I see here. Then we have the dog, the bouquet, and the tower. If you break with certain friendships around you, if you discover that some people were not honest to you in your life and you break with these friends or these partners, this points to a renewal in friendship, that new friends will come into your life that you can trust. But maybe in the beginning, you're a little bit distant because the tower is distant. Maybe because your trust was broken before, you will be a little bit distant in the beginning, but this is actually a beginning of a good friendship here that we see. Maybe we meet this person on university or in the school, and this could be a long-term friendship because the tower is on the long run. This is a friendship that could mean something in the long run, not after school. Even this friendship will continue. This is for the long run. Here, what we see more here, probably this friend, man or woman, whatever he might be, this person might be quite attractive. Maybe that's why you take a little bit distance in the beginning. Maybe this person has a very beautiful or pretty appearance, the woman or a man, or he's very handsome, and you're not sure in the beginning about that. That's why you withdraw a little bit, but actually you will see that it works out well after you're sure. But the appearance of the person is a little bit like Venus-like or Cupid-like, admired by many. He's seen as beautiful or pretty. Of course, beauty and pretty, it's in the eyes of the beholder, but let's say in general, this person get admiration for his looks. In a way, also, if you have certain jobs, this could also point to a job. Maybe it's a sideline that you work with flowers, maybe as a sideline. This can point to flowers or maybe perfumes, things like that, things that makes life pretty, beautiful. Sugar is also possible. Sweets is possible here also. This is what we see here also. Anyway, this points to a person with a friendly nature. Maybe this is you. I'm assuming it is. You have a friendly nature. You're liked for your friendly nature, and it can make you also, if you act like that, it will bring you progress in your life. Anyway, people around you are proud of you. You will follow certain restrictions, rules, regulation in the school, probably that is necessary. Also, some friends around you will admire you because of what you do and what you achieve. This is what we see also. And it's possible also if you come in contact with this pretty or beautiful friend, that you dress yourself more up. It's like you adjust a little bit your looks, or this friend or this person teaches you how to make yourself more pretty, and you go along with it. You go along with it. He or she helps you to build a certain structure up here. This is what we see. Then we have the bouquet and the tower here. Here we see that we are happy, we are healing from the past, things are renewed, we get more confidence again in life, we value our traditions. This can also point that our boss or the person where we work from is quite handsome or pretty. This is what we see here, also what we see. In another way, maybe this job is in a high building, because the tower is a high building or an apartment or a big mall. This is what we see here also. Anyway, if you have a boss, he will be generous for you, and he will, like, he's very kind-hearted, and he share the profits. He's a very kind-hearted person here that we see here. Anyway, sometimes it will not be easy. Maybe the job is hard, and it's like sometimes you need to look pretty and you need to work hard. So you need to look good, and you need to serve and to follow, and you need to look good, and you need to study. So it's all a little bit hard here for combining the whole thing. Anyway, in another way, a point of view, this could be also a fashion store for the elite. This also points to that. Anyway, the job is for letting people enjoy life. It's connected to that, the enjoyments of life, because it's Venus. Venus let us enjoy the things of life. Anyway, there's a structure here. Also, there's a creative side, a structural creative side, or even if you study, there's a structural creative side, maybe on the study, maybe on the work. There's structure and harmony here. Both are here, but actually that's a good combination here. It's a Saturnal structure, and Venus is beauty. It's a good combination for progress in life, even though it's not easy, but it's a good combination, this one, for progress in life. Anyway, if there are some structural problems in the work, you will reach out to your boss. You will share these common problems from you and your colleagues. If there are more than one of you, I assume there is. So then you will be the one. You will say, we have this and this problem, and probably the boss will understand and will try to make things work better. Anyway, if you keep working, if you're a new student, your results will come probably depending on the study, but this points to 3.5, 7 years, something like that. It's something like that because we have all multiplications of 7 here, 3.5, 7, 14, like that. So it's probably that the real results of your work will come then, especially if you start studying. If you are in the results now, this will probably mean that you're already studying for this period, 3.5, 7, like that. So that is then the reverse side. Anyway, here we see also cultivating new friendships. We go in groups out because the dog is groups, peers, people who are around us. We cultivate new friendships here. There are happy times that we see here. Even if you go out and you behave a little bit bad, as students or people sometimes do, this combination can also point that you get a break of police. Even if you misbehave a little bit, they tell you, okay, it's good for one time. Here, this is what we see here also, that it means that authorities are lenient to you. Anyway, it also points to that we need to be patient for achieving our goals here. Then we have the cross, the stork, the book, and the tower. Here, points again, secrets are revealed. I just see if there's some more here. Changes causes the insight. Truths, we already saw that. Some changes are coming, you already saw these things. And then we have the book and the tower in itself. You get more experience by this study. Character building we see here also. Maybe some people around you, this I want to add here, act a little bit snobbish because they are smart. This could be this combination also. It's best to just smooth them out if this is the You can smooth them out with charm, but it's possible with this combination here. Anyway, this points to educational authority. Anyway, you will be proud on your achievements here. Then we have the dog, the book, and the heart. Here we see again that the person not yet revealed his feelings for you. We already saw this here. Some things will come to you as a friend. The friend also, your friends also around you, they are smart, they are educated, they also have a certain knowledge. You are in the same league here. It's possible also that maybe this is possible also that you do private teaching that you teach side. Maybe you already have a certain level of education and you teach younger people, because the dog sometimes it can represent a puppy or a younger person. So it's possible that you tutor. This is possible also with this combination. Anyway, this is private teaching. Then we have the book and the heart on itself. And then eventually somebody will reveal their real intentions to you. That we already saw here. Anyway, you will learn to know this person by heart. So, Sagittarius, for the Stone Group, this is all for now. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. Please check out also the financial card readings on my channel. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for spending time on my channel. And we see each other on my other videos. Bye-bye for now. Thank you. Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to the matches for the fire group for your card reading for October 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that on 27 September, Mercury started to run retrograde up to 18 October. This is not a good time for signing contracts, agreements, anything you need to put your name under for officializing it. It's not a good thing to do. You will also see that your flight is canceled, your train is late, you're in traffic jams, mails that you need to receive are not coming, the mails are late, it has consequences, packages that need to be delivered are in your home are wrongly delivered. These are all things that are happening during Mercury retrograde. It's because the mind of all people in the collective, all our minds is tending to work a little bit slower. Sometimes also internet connections are slower during that time. Anyway, also, for instance, for buying cell phones or equipment like laundry machines, it's not a good idea to do so because these devices are connected to a contract, and the contract is representing the warranty, and sometimes afterwards there are problems with that. Anyway, the general idea here is not to sign any contracts whatsoever. However, if for some reason you are obligated, you feel compelled, there is no choice for whatever reason, and you are about to sign, double, triple check the fine print, because it's possible after you change your mind and you cannot get out of the contract anymore. If you want to get out, you need to pay a big fine. You want to get out because you didn't see certain clauses in the contract and it's no longer possible. Anyway, and you come in a round process, so it's better not to do those things during Mercury retrograde. Anyway, here we go now with the card reading for the matches or the fire group for Sagittarius for October. The first card that we see here, the card has several representations. The first I think I'm thinking about here is because we are in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is often in abroad. This could represent a foothold in abroad. It could also represent that we need to stand our ground. We need to be strong here with this combination. We can travel. This is possible also. And then this would mean the travel document. And this is the visa, which is often the case with Sagittarius. They are travelers. Anyway, but this combination is specifically to that. And we have the stork here also, which is also traveling. And we have the crossroads here also. It's all traveling here, and here we see the sun, and you know the sun is exotic orbs or exotic locations, so we already know where we're going, and we have the water there also. But we stay focused here on the first card now. I'm already a little bit ahead of things. Anyway, this is an important challenge also for you. Maybe you see it as a challenge. Maybe there are challenges for you waiting or some challenges you need to face. Anyway, you need to be tough here in this situation. You need to make certain decisions, maybe certain decisions about documents that we see here. Anyway, we need to initiate communication around us. This is what we see. The letter often represents a document of value, meaning, like for instance, it's a degree, and the degree can be transferred and can transfer itself in money. Why? You have a job because of the degree. So this is the same. This is a deed. It represents a document that we can translate in money. This is what we see here in the middle card. Anyway, this is a positive card in general, especially with the sun there. The message that you are about to receive is heavy because the mountain is heavy, and it's big. It's a big, important message because the mountain is both. So here, this message will positively influence your life because we have the sun there, and there are no negative cards in this laying, none whatsoever. So this is a very positive laying, but we will elaborate more here about this. Then what we see more here, then we go in the mountain, excuse me, and the book. The mountain and the book, this is a place in abroad, there we're already going, a place in abroad that you did not yet discover. So I'm assuming you have never been there here to this place. In another way, it's possible that it's combined with an education, because also this points sometimes to an education, an open education, because the garden is open. Could be an open university, learning online, but you do this in abroad. This is possible also with this combination. Maybe this online learning, sometimes it's not easy to do so. Maybe the contacts are not easy because the mountain sometimes makes difficult sometimes for making contact. Maybe these contacts or the internet connections are not easy. Anyway, some difficulties also here involved in this study, but it's something that is public, that is available for everyone, like an open university. This is what we see here also with this combination. Anyway, here also that probably if we are about to do this, we are not intending to reveal this to everybody. And maybe it's best we don't do also, because the book asks us sometimes to keep quiet for a while till we see what the difficulties exactly contain, because we cannot see over the mountain, and the book keeps the secrets before we put it in public, that is. Anyway, this points to a challenge here. There could be some learning difficulties in itself for some reasons. Maybe you yourself, you classify it as difficult, but it don't necessarily be that way. Then we have the garden and the book and the garden on itself. Here we see again that you take study classes online. You study in a place that you don't know yet. This is what we see here. But the study that you are taking is known for everybody. It's available for everybody. Anyway, this also points that you engage in an intellectual community. This is what we see here also with this combination. Also, you will get to know more about networking. Certain networks, certain channels will come to you. There will be, maybe it's also cultural science. You learn to more, maybe you travel and it's a cultural study. This is possible also what we see here. Anyway, you will talk about it, about this study. Anyway, this is a lot of people have access to this study, but it's possible it's cultural. Then we have the ring, the letter, and the fish. Here we see a document here, literally a contract coming to us. Remember what I said in the beginning of the video, be careful if you sign contracts, that you don't end up in trouble. I don't see the trouble here, but it's better to prevent than to heal. Here we see the ring and the letter here. It's possible if you go there to abroad, you are looking for a job or a job is offered to you, because we see the money card there also. So it's possible you earn money, and mostly it's something that we like, because the sun is what we like to do. And the job that you are doing there, even if you're still studying, is something that you really like. It can refer, as I said, to a contract, a serious contract, something that is serious because the letter is serious. And here we see this contract, and the contract involves earnings or business. Maybe you do a business in public, that is possible also as a sideline. But anyway, it points to a contract that will bring you money, or an engagement that will bring you money, a business engagement. This is what we see here also. Anyway, there are promises here that are made. Contracts are made. Here we see also invoices that we are seeing. Maybe it's related to contracts that you're making. This is possible. Also contracts that you make in abroad. There are conversations about this commitment or this connection. You express about it, so you talk about it here. Here, the group that you are communicating in, they're hanging together here. This is what we see here also. Maybe it's in a certain group that you have this communication, or it's a certain public that you are functioning here. Then we have the letter and the fish in itself. These, again, it's financial documents, because the fish is money. Maybe you sell something that you can actually touch, because the fish is touching, it's physical. These are payments, bills, taxes, whatever. It also can point to administration, public administration here. This is what we see here. If you need a license for this job, next to the study, this points also to that you require a license, and you will get the license because you have the sun here. This is a license. But anyway, the message will definitely come to you here. There's no doubt about that here. Anyway, there will be a lot of contracts. It's very positive, this for money. If there will be a lot of coming to you, maybe more than you expect. So a lot is coming to you financially here. There's a lot of financial benefits. You will like what you do. It will bring progress in your life. You will go in another direction. This is a very positive landing here, but we stick here to here. In another way, additionally, it is points sometimes that we gain some winnings from lottery here. This points also, this is additional then. This trip, this could point to a trip overseas, and it brings you actual profits. So the ticket brings you actual profits. Here also, you will also learn some things that are not necessarily financially learning something, but also emotional things. They will prove to be priceless later on here. What we see more here. This also sometimes points to, if the location would be remote and there are several stops to be made, that you travel with an amphibie plane, like a plane that can land on the land and also on the sea. This is what we see here also. Anyway, probably you will travel fairly luxurious. The conditions will be fairly luxurious because we have the sun there. You will feel literally on top of the world, because this whole situation will broaden your horizon. In a way, also, there's a lot of connections here to the sea. Maybe there are some connections if you are into diving or something like that. This is actually can also point that you swim with dolphins. So this is what we see here also. Anyway, if it's not with business, that you're swimming with the fish, you could be doing business literally with fish. Maybe the firm that you are connected to, they are related to some fish business. There are contracts with fish business, And also the contracts will return on regular basis because the ring goes around, the store comes back. So this is very good on the long run. Excuse me. What we see more here, it's possible that you sold things before, but maybe in another field, and that your expertise, that you can apply that for this business. Maybe you worked as a salesman before, and this knowledge you can apply, but in a different field. This is what we see here. Maybe you are by nature a very instinctive entrepreneur. This is what we see here also. Maybe it's in your nature. This points also to a person that is not suited for a 9-to-5 job. This person needs to be free. He needs to have his own business. This is what we see here, a highly independent person who needs to do his own business, no matter what the age is. This points to this very independent business person. Also, it might be a little over exaggerated what I'm going to say here, but it's here. I'm just mentioning it. This is a person that draws money to him. The money is drawn to him. This is what we see here also. So you know also instinctively which steps to take for making your business bloom. You will know it. Nobody will need to teach you. You will know. You will know what to do exactly. And of course you need to the certain permits there. Anyway, this is very profitable here. There's a lot of written communication here. Maybe even you use some channels for your business like YouTube or Twitter. This is possible here also with this combination. Also, it says that you need to listen to your inner voice because it could work in your advantage. If you have like a feeling, you need to listen to it. You also will have the communication that you do. It's very important because if you communicate, it can already make money. This is what we see here also with this combination. There's very good communication skills here that are available. Then we have the crossroads, the stork and the sun. As you go, you will be confronted with changes on changes. The crossroads is choice, and the stork is a bird of change. So it's possible that you think you have worked out a certain plan, but it's possible that you need to adjust your plans. It's like change on change. So you need to be a little bit flexible here, but normally Sagittarius is a quite flexible sign, but it is possible to happen. It's like changes down the road. You need to change your plan. It's possible that it's not possible, it will be positive. If there are changes on changes, they will end up in a positive result because the sun is a very positive card. Anyway, here we see that we need to be flexible with these adaptations here. Also, there will be new forms of freedom that you will discover. This is what we see here also. Also, you will, it's like new forms of freedom are coming to you. It's like you rediscover new forms of freedom because the stork is free and the road puts us on the road. So we see certain freedoms here and we are happy. Sometimes Sagittarius can be a little bit like a nomad, an eternal traveler. So sometimes for some Sagittarius, they are happy with that life. They like to travel, they like to explore, they like to be confronted with new cultures, with changes. So this is very positive here, what we are seeing here. Anyway, it's possible that there are certain choices here that you need to make that in previous stages of your life you were already confronted. It's like the choices are changing, but you already made them once. This is what we see here also. Then we have the stork and the sun in itself. So it's all positive here. If it's positive, it's positive. I can say nothing negative here. So all is positive here. Everything that will be unfolding for us will be positive here. It's all in our best interest. There is success, victory, positive changes who will bring you more energy. You will have the will to act. It's seldom we have a laying like this. It's all very positive here. There's successful changes, good changes. This also points to migrating to a hot country because the sun is warmed. It will be warm there. It's possible also once you are there in that location and your study is finished or you're finished with the study or the side study or the study in itself, you become quite popular in your area. It's like you become a celebrity in what you're doing. This is possible also. This is what we see here also. In your journey, it's possible also that you come in contact during your travels with people who are famous, like celebrities, people who are very famous worldwide. It's possible that you meet these people on a journey, on a trip, unexpected. They stand in front of you. This is possible also with this combination. Also, it's possible that a friend of you is giving birth. This is possible also with this combination. Anyway, this points to migration. We already saw that you have a new job in a foreign country. There will be a lot of material changes, positive material changes for you. You will, even if it's hot there, you will enjoy the heat, the warmth of the ocean. We see here also that you enjoy that. You will change your lookout of life in a positive way. It's possible also that for now, directly, because we have the mountain here, you cannot travel now, but by the end of the month, it's possible, or shortly, you will be able to travel, because sometimes the mountain delays things. And with the book, we cannot clearly see, maybe it's related to the viruses, or maybe you need certain documents for this journey. But it's possible here that it's a little bit delayed because of documents that we see here. Anyway, there is a total metamorphosis here going on. You will literally shine in abroad. Some of your truths that you saw in life will be changing for you. There are many truths in life, and you will see new ones here. In another way, it's possible that during your journey, even if you're not looking, that some woman or some man is popping up in your life here. This is what we see here. This would be an emotional person, quite emotional, because there's a lot of water here. And this person might shine a light on you, like you are happy to be around her. Maybe she's a little bit changeable, but she would be an elegant person. Maybe it's also a traveler like you, because it's the stork. This is possible also. Anyway, this points also, we do a lot of hard working, we change slowly, and we come to our full potential here. This is what we see here. It's a long move, long change, transformation to total happiness. I don't know, this is optimistic. In general, Sagittarius is very optimistic sign, so this is what we see here also. Anyway, this is the crown to success. I can find nothing negative here. Then we have the mountain, the letter, and the sun. Here, this points to connections in abroad with foreigners, financial connections, important connections, connections that are related to money. It's all in abroad or on the internet, because the mountain also sometimes represents the internet. And these connections are positive. They were positive out again here. Some contracts, as we saw earlier, or some trips can be delayed. The mountain delays also. There could be an obstacle coming in your way. If I need to find something negative, that you cannot travel, that's the only thing I can see negative here. It will take time. You will need to wait time for it's the right time to travel. Sometimes if we try to force it, we wait the same time. We cannot force the mountain. We cannot move the mountain. It stays as it is. It's unmovable, this thing. But it is also foothold. It's gonna be like that, but you cannot force it. This is what it is. Anyway, also, if you make certain contacts and contracts, both, you will be overwhelmed about how it's gonna end. And it's positive. So there will be a lot of money involved here. This is what we see here. Here, some of the relationships, excuse me, some of the relationships that we have might be interrupted, or it might be difficult to keep contact with certain people in abroad, maybe due to internet connections. This is possible. This is what we see here. And you yourself, as a person, you will literally, metaphorically cross bridges. This is what we see here also. But it's possible as you travel, or if you go there, that some things are temporarily delayed. You need to maybe do some efforts for getting there. But once you're there, all brakes are off. Here, we see here that we need to adjust, but we already saw that you can if you want. Let me see here more. Then we have the ring and the crossroads here. Ring and the crossroads. So this points to, as I said here again, with this woman, it's possible that a relationship begins here with a woman. But here also, this point, sometimes maybe we connected with this woman, but maybe we are both a little bit nomadish. And there is something building up here, but maybe for now it's not the right time. Maybe you're both not yet where you need to be. This is what, there is anything negative about it, there is not, but it's like something nomadic is here. Anyway, there's some kind of detachment towards from each other, and you will know, and you know that's in your best interest, and the person also will know it's in the best interest. It doesn't mean that there is no connection. Probably there will be connection, and the connection will be there if you want to make them, and everything you expect will be there in this relationship. You can read between the lines. Anyway, this also points to several contacts and contracts. You make promises here. You make promise. You decide to make a promise. This points also that we delay a commitment. Again, I see it here again. Then we have the book, the letter, and the stork. So this news will come suddenly to you here. We already saw that. Again, it points to distant learning, learning online, secret messages coming to you. This points also to notebooks, university degrees, additional studying, degrees, diplomas, physical books. You will learn the truth, you will speak the truth. There will be a lot of academic conversations here, scientific conversations, even maybe probably related to business and money. There's a lot of information here. You will receive trusted letters here. This is what we all see here. It's possible also that if you meet this person in abroad, you don't share this with nobody, because the book keeps it secret, because maybe there's a lot of changes going on in your life and you don't want to involve nobody, and you want to, nobody knows from that, and maybe the other person agrees with that kind of relationship. What do we see here? This is all yes. This is again ticket to abroad. This is the documents. This is the visa, and this is actually your flying, because the stork makes us fly. It makes us migrate again. What we see more here, in a way also, even if you get the degree, it's possible you don't blow it high off the tower. Meaning, if people ask you, what is your degree? Maybe you're well educated, you don't go into it. But this points to a well-educated person that don't go in, he don't will brag about his education. You probably will keep it to yourself. It's possible with this combination also that some of the things you know and you are talented for, you don't show them. You don't show this to other people. This is something we see here also with this combination. It's possible also, this is at another angle, if you learn some additional things that you come out with them. If you're sure, you learn them. This is possible also. Anyway, then we have the letter and the stork in itself. News arrived, we already saw this. Positive news arrived, we already saw all this. Confirmation of the same conversation, making sure that everything going round and round, that everything is moving, that the changes are coming in a positive way. Transformation, meaningful communication. Here you will want to show that the things you talk about have meaning and purpose for you, and they are business related. Then we have the garden, the fish, and the sun. This points to a working place, an institution. This could also point. The fish is a physical fish, but it also money. I told you there's a lot of money or fish that it's in the same area. It can be physical, working with money. We see this here, but this could also be financial markets online. I didn't mention that angle before, but it's possible also that we see here. It's possible also we relax ourselves in a spa or in a swimming pool or literally in the sea. We reward ourselves because we feel that we have a job well done, and we keep ourselves in the sun. We even get a suntan here. This is what we see here. So we move around. We are spending money also. We are spending money also. This points also to business associates, money that you earn in public. You will have a certain value. People will value your reputation. You will build up a nice reputation here also on the long run. If there is a team around you that you work with, you will get profits, and these profits you will share them with all. You will share them with all. Then we have the fish and the sun on itself. Again, here I cannot find nothing new. It's always there's a lot of money going on here. You are successful. Here, this combination also points to that we, even if we are not yet where we want to be, we are very grateful in the position where we are coming in. This is what we see here. It's possible also during your journey, because money sometimes attract also people, that you attract a lot of people, also female persons you attract to your person. This is what we see here also. Anyway, there will be a lot of happiness. There's also entertainment involved here. You can have fun, you can work, but you can have fun also here. This is what we see here also. Then we have the mountain, the letter and the sun. This is news from a foreigner. We saw this again, the news can come a little bit slow. It's possible that a delivery man need to deliver you something for this travel, and the package is literally delayed, as I said in the beginning. You need to address these problems. Then we have the letter and the sun on itself. The news that you receive is what you expected. You're happy with it. All documents are in order. You're ready to leave. There's a ray of hope here. Great news. Share joy. You're happy. You're joyful. The conversations are having time during daytime. You announce that you're going. You announce that clearly, that everybody knows that you're going. Then you have the garden, the letter, and the crossroads. Also, you're invited. You're invited. It's possible this is based on an invitation, also through contacts, that you get an invitation. Here that we see here with this combination. Then something is announced, public announcements here we see here. Maybe this makes us, as I said here, to travel, maybe by some public announcement, you need to change course. You need to change course, but eventually you will end there. But maybe the travel is causing some delays. I see this here again. It's possible that getting there is not so easy. Maybe because of a public announcement, you need to change your travel schedule. This is possible here also. Then we have the letter and the crossroads in itself. When we finally arrive there, multiple offers will be made to us that will point you in any direction that you want to go. Even if you take the decisions, they are positive. This news will come to you. You will have a lot of choices, a lot of offers that are offered to you here. I think here, the place where you're going, you've not yet been there, but it's like you have some kind of invitation letter on you. So you're invited there. Here, this is what we see here. It's like a letter of invitation. Maybe the letter of invitation is related to something that you studied before. This is possible also. Maybe from some education organization where you studied before, and there is like an announcement letter that you're coming, like that you're introduced, like an introducing letter. This is possible also here. Anyway, there's a lot of documents here. You get a lot of information here. If you feel that certain facts that you don't want to share with people, you can hold it for yourself. Sometimes it's best not to share all we know. Over communication is not really necessary here. So you need to select a little bit what you share with some people. You are in the choice, you can share it, but sometimes with the book, it's best that we don't share everything that we know. Anyway, you will have a lot of freedoms here. This is a very positive lane. Anyway, Sagittarius, this is a very good lane for the month of October. There's a lot of things about to change in your life. I can find nothing negative because there is no negative cards. The only thing I can see here is delays in travel. So anyway, Sagittarius, for the fire group, this is all for this month. I hope you're happy with this card reading. If you are, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. Please check out also my financial card readings for your sign. Thank you for doing so. Thank you for spending time on my channel, and we see each other soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.